Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, my boy.
Can't you say that we get tired?
We do.
It's not like back in the beginning. You know, you just woke up.
Yeah, it is. The work schedules is terrible.
I used to.
Yeah.
I would just put us in school. It's like with the hospital. We love it to see.
Now they excuse me, so the union put in an excuse me, you know, they are. But other than if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Usually I have my 8 hours.
Oh, let me get this back.
Then recycle those.
Yes. I already Did I try to help?
That was protocol from the orientation I never had.
What was that?
That's protocol from the orientation I never had. Recycle. Recycle. You just put them on the box.
I just handed him a chip.
But that's like. Why she got carried? That's breaking in. And I got his help on that. I said, oh, no, y'all. Down and
Go ahead and arrest her. Go ahead and book her, y'all.
She had the camera.
No, to bring some. It's time to get rid of like 5
Airplanes. Which is good at Atlanta. I was down for the weekend. It was nice.
Right.
No. Oh, actually.
Did you hear the?
Yeah.
Florida. Or was it this?
He was staying on Santa Monica.
Oh. Well, that's what. You know, I was supposed to try King Jackson, but everything was closed.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I couldn't get a rental car.
Yeah. They all floated away too. There'll be some cheap cheap used cars coming to the market soon. Did you see the pictures of the classic Corvettes that got damaged? I was like, you are. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's right. I'm like, what are you doing?
I mean, it'd be so high, so cold. It won't be so bad.
More than a little bit. Rusty. Oh. Oh, that's from the enterprise fleet management. So they gotta put in an order for new vehicles. Yeah, for next year though. All right, here we go. I'm looking at the 15. Yeah, that's not the one. On the computer is the one. That clock is a minute slow. Oh, yes. Didn't say exactly what it is.
I don't know if he is not well. His name is Scott.
Yeah.
I haven't. No, I don't want it lower.
It's 7 o'clock.
I know it's 7 o'clock, but we have a council member who's not seated yet.
That's.
He stayed in the because he knew that older folks were going to need help. Under the hurricane, so he stayed.
All right, folks, I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. It is 7:01 PM. We can start off with a moment of silence, please. If we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just as a quick reminder, if you have cell phones on you, please make sure that they are either off or on silent. Council members, please make sure that phones are off the desktops. City Clerk Domingo, if you'll take roll call for us, please.
Councilmember Williams,
Here.
Reed. Here. Jackson. Here. Lawler.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
French.
Here.
And Mayor Snyder.
Here. Do I have a motion to approve of the agenda?
So moved.
Support. Any additions or deletions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we don't have any presentations or recognitions. No need for a public hearing. Public comments. If there's anybody in the gallery that would like to stand to speak on an agenda item, you have the opportunity to do so, and you will have 3 minutes. If there's anybody that would like to stand? Do we have anybody on? Okay. Consent calendar in our package,
You missed one there.
Close.
closed session.
Yes.
Do we have a closed session?
We do.
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn to closed session?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Heavy roll call, sorry.
Oh, sorry. City Clerk Domingo?
Councilmember Reed.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Lawler.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
French.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
And Mayor Snyder.
Yes. We'll adjourn to closed session, 7:03 PM.
Here we go.
consent calendar. And our. Do I have
Come
to
back
do roll
from,
call?
yeah, sorry.
Right, roll call, please, City Clerk Domingo?
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Jackson,
Here.
Lawler,
Here.
Taylor,
Yes.
Dunn,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
and Mayor Snyder.
Here. In our package, we do have our minutes from our September 19th study session and our September 19th regular session. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the adult use grow and processor renewal permit for 1007 industrial?
So move.
In our package, we have the application. Hoping we all had the opportunity to look through them during our close, not our close, but our study session. Give you another moment to review. Director Arnold.
This is a application for renewing a license that you've already issued. This is not an increase or a decrease in the total number of licenses that the city has issued, but just keeping that for another year at 929 was first correct.
So it'd be 101007
Yep,
industrial.
they're both under the same owner, but and they were issued originally by council at the same time, so they're just both up for renewal. They've been approved by the planning commission. Should have a couple copies of the signature pages with the department head signatures, the city attorney's mark, and the city clerk.
I seem to have the real one.
Do we have any questions for Director Arnold about the application for 1007 industrial?
So move.
I think he did answer our questions in our study session. I think that is good for us to say that, so people don't think we're just passing to be passing, but I do believe you answered our questions in the study session.
Support.
There's already been a motion and support. So, Colin, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say, I know you probably see this very bright orange
Yeah.
tag here. Just make sure we turn these back in because all the information contained in these applications is non-public.
City Clerk Daniel?
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
and Mayor Snyder.
Yes. Do I have a motion to approve the adult use grow process renewal permit for 929 Elliott?
So move.
Councilwoman Reed supported.
Mhm.
Director Arnold, pretty much same
Same,
application. Yep.
Nothing to add.
same.
Any questions or concerns on this application? City Clerk Domingo?
Councilmember Jackson,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
and Mayor Snyder.
Yes. Motion to approve the community comprehensive plan.
So move.
Director Arnold?
Yep, so if this looks familiar. We had a bit of a clerical error on my end in making sure that the planning commission had the appropriate paperwork for their approval process. So what we've done, we've not made any changes to the comprehensive plan as it was previously approved. We've just gone back, asked the planning commission to approve that resolution. And now as a matter of, well, I think just making sure we cross the Ts and dot the Is, we're sending it back to council. The comprehensive plan that you're approving has not changed since the last time we looked at it. This is making sure we're doing everything as right as possible and approving it.
Any questions for Director Arnold for this? City Clerk Domingo?
Councilmember Lawler,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
and Mayor Snyder.
Yes. Motion to approve the diligent order form and annual fee of $12,264 for our iCompass.
So move.
Support.
Attorney Hartnett, would you want to speak on this?
Sure. So this is a company that we have an existing contract with, as I indicated during the study session. There's no increase in any cost to the city. This is already something that is budgeted as part of our contract with them. They are simply changing their video service on their end. And so we're just basically doing addendum to the contract reflecting that in the event we were to use the video service, which we currently don't, we would be using the current video, I guess, format. Their particular software that they use as part of our agreement with them. Like we said during the session, we don't currently use it, but if we wanted to, we have to use what they're going to be changing to. And as I said, there's no increase in any cost in the city. And they did modify the agreement as I requested. There were some small issues with the term that they had remedied.
Do you have any questions for our attorney on this? City Clerk Domingo?
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
and Mayor Snyder.
Yes. Do I have a motion to approve the Enterprise Fleet Management Program for the 2023 purchase?
So move.
Director O'Brien, would you like to stand and give us some information? I know you gave us a lot of information during our study session, just an overview.
Okay, so what you have in front of you is the estimated cost for the 23 fleet purchase. Estimated meaning it's estimated 10% above our previous purchase, which they said is going to be high. Also, the current vehicles that we have will sell back in the new purchase. There was one minor change from the original 5-truck lease. One change is that the next 5-truck lease will be 4 pickup trucks at 250s, 3/4 ton extended cab, and there will be one 1-ton dump truck in place of one of the F-250s on the original lease. So that did increase the cost just a little bit. However, we are selling back all 5 into the new purchase.
Do you have any questions for Director O'Brien?
Once again, I do believe that he did answer the question that was answered. Some of us had already known of this process, but you answered it for our new ones. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Are any of these trucks used for carrying the stuff that fills holes? The asphalt?
Currently, we have an older vehicle. It's actually a heavier piece of equipment, more well equipped to pull 12,000 pounds behind it with the hot asphalt. However, the 1-ton dump truck that I referred to, that will be more than capable of doing that on our next lease
Just wanted
purchase.
to make sure they have one. Open up all.
Any other questions or comments? You, City Clerk Domingo?
Councilmember French,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Snyder.
Yes. Our next is a discussion on the updates for the public service. Director O'Brien did give us information on the desktops in regards to the tree mitigation list. Do we have any questions for Mayor Pro Tem Jackson?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor Snyder. I have one on my paper here and it's on the sheet. I was like, yay. So 1012 Superior Street, 5, the number 5, and it says trim, and I know there's no wire in. So she has called me about it. And are we able to take care of that tree down the road? Is this why it's on the list, 1012?
May I come up and address?
Yeah, yeah.
So what you have in front of you is our city tree list. I began updating this last July when I arrived. There were a few trees already on a list. What I did was alphabetize the streets. And then I started to go through the grading process. As you look across the sheet there, address, tree grading. Grading 10 would be tree that's an emergency that could fall over. The wind blows a little bit.
Mhm.
Rating a very healthy tree may need a little trimming. To directly answer the question on the trimming. With our current budget,
Mhm.
what we have done for the last year, I'll say 14 months. We've gotten all the number 10 trees off of this list,
Okay,
all the number 9 trees off of this list. Those were possible danger to the public.
okay,
Also in the last, just here in last previous August and a year ago, August, we had 2 major storm events that caused a lot of tree damage. That pulled a lot of funds out of our tree budget.
okay,
The trimming is something that we're not able to do yet. We're restrained by our budget. The city does not have a bucket truck. So that we rely on the contractor to trim. It's my estimation, he has only trimmed 5 trees in the past year that I had requested him to do. Just because of the danger of the other trees.
okay,
I made a little memo right here. I received a directive from Patrick Miller that our 2022 budget had been exhausted as of June 22nd of this year. So that's why a lot of this tree work will not go forward. We're restrained by our budget. Since I did receive this memo from Patrick, we did have a tree storm. And we've gone over budget to remedy what that tree storm has done with our contract.
Councilwoman
So-
Schultz? I'm sorry.
no, you fine. So I know we have talked about a truck. And we're supposed to get the dollar, I think we did get the dollars and cents about how much it would be to get a bucket truck. So if you'd be so kind to bring it back to us to see if we can help. Some way somehow to get that so that we can get some of the trees taken care of due to how you still probably have to hire someone to help get them. But if you could still bring the information back to us so that we can look at that.
I would love to bring that back, and I also want to caution you, a bucket truck would more than likely require 2 more employees just to operate that single machine.
Okay,
However, we could do this town a big favor if we had.
bring that back too as well. Bring what that would cost. I mean, we need to know it all. Not saying that we will approve right then, but it's good to know. So we can see what we need to do to move forward.
I'll have that at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Waller?
Okay, thank you so much. I got a couple questions. So, you said the contract was up June 22nd,
No, we have exhausted all the budget of the contract.
the funds
Yes,
was exhausted. Okay, so does the present contractor does he do, he have like a price range for everything that he does, or does he get paid one price for?
so the current contract, our contractor, a tree 30 inches or larger, that's the width, the circumference of the circumference, that particular tree is $2,500 to have it taken down and removed. Then there is a stump grinding fee. That stump grinding fee is per inch. If I could give you an average of a stump grind, it would probably be in the neighborhood of $200 to $210 per stump.
Hmm.
Some stumps are smaller than others. However, the average tree, because we've gone after the worst ones, which tend to be the oldest, they're about $2,500 per tree.
So we pay per tree.
Yes, we do.
Can you tell me when, the contract is up? The service person we have?
I believe the contract is up on June 30 of 23.
Yes.
Thanks, Paul.
So,
Since that is coming up, are you in favor of starting a process for a new vendor? I'm just trying to see if we can put it out there early because we didn't put it out there as early as we would have liked it to have been, so we could have got more than just one person.
I would definitely be in favor of getting this out to as much to the public as possible, at least 3 months in advance. If we could.
So if we do that, is there like, and tell me if I'm wrong for saying this, but is there a way we could get the contractor, you know, this is how many trees we have, whatever is wrong with them, we can pay you this much? Are we able to do something like that?
Well, I wouldn't say, here's what we're willing to pay, because you wanna get the lowest price you can when you do an RFP. So I would put in the RFP, all the services that we're looking to get. You know, if there's certain diameters of trees that we encounter more, you know. We would, you know, list all that and say, you know, we'd like to consider maybe bulk pricing rather, or bulk pricing or individual trees or whatever, and get various options that the contractors can provide, but I wouldn't give them our part, what we're willing to
Right,
say.
I was just saying, you know, we got these many trees, how much can
Sure,
you charge them
yeah,
to do whatever it is you have to do, whether this one is the worst or this one is the best, you know, all of these trees we need taken down, can you just do it in one bulk and give us a bulk price?
So Councilperson Lawler, one of the hurdles we have is I get reports on trees. Sometimes daily. Generally more in the spring with the weather changes, definitely in the fall with high winds. So to look for one fee or one certain amount of trees, I think it's changing so rapidly that it would be really hard to propose that.
Can we try? We can try it.
We could try anything.
So, this is my last. As far as the asphalt on North and Monroe and North and Ionia, is it fixed? Do we have any plans to asphalt it and roll it out like we did this beautiful thing out here?
So you said North and Monroe, North and Ionia?
It's North and Monroe. I think the last time something had happened on Pine Street.
Okay, so we had a major water repair on Pine and Ionia and also on Pine and Monroe.
Yeah, that's what I'm sorry.
And then we had also had further repairs more to the west towards Superior on Pine. I'm happy to tell you that we repaired half of that today.
Okay.
The other half will be completed tomorrow.
Okay.
When we do something like that, where it's a large project, a large area to repair, it takes the entire crew. I had 4 guys working on that today. We took a dump truck and went and got 3 different loads of asphalt from our supplier, which is Capital Asphalt in Lansing. But I'm happy to tell you those should be completed tomorrow on the streets I just mentioned.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I do want to tell you folks real quick before I step back. Since the first part of May, street department has patched 4,795 potholes in the city limits up to the 29th of September.
4,700.
29.
790.
990.
Okay. 700.
I found another one.
Director O'Brien, kind of going back to the tree list. 403 West Porter. It's designated as a number 9. There's a no next to it. I don't know if that was just an error or if that tree has not been addressed yet. Like
Also
second-
304
second-
Irwin,
Second to last page.
also 304 Irwin.
403 West Porter, cut down, remove. when I came to the city and started the position, some of these trees had some very high rating. And in a visual drive-by, other trees were in worse condition, and I probably did not change that rating down to a 7 or an 8. However, since it's been brought up, I will take another look at that and see how dangerous that is.
Same for 304 Irwin.
304.
Irwin. So it doesn't have a desert, it's given a 9, but
That's been reported to me a few different times. Once again, our tree budget's gone,
okay,
and we've taken down a couple
so
of trees.
2023.
Well,
Can't
yes,
say that, can't say that. You can't say that, and that's my precinct too, so.
So
Get it?
I
Gotta work with
I
it.
believe the tree list that I have made, all the 9s that I have taken those off. If the 9 remains there, that's an error on my behalf.
Okay.
And while we're talking about trees, I'd like to thank Castor Cares for taking the tree down on Michigan and Oswego in the last couple of weeks. That volunteer service for us is very helpful when you talk about the cost of some of these trees, so.
Good example at Castor Cares at Oswego and East Michigan.
Yeah.
The state gives the city $700 annually to deal with trees.
So why was that tree taken down?
Because it was dead and it's been dead for a while and there's been a lot of complaints about it. And I believe Castor Cares decided that it needed to go. So we appreciate their assistance in removing it.
Any other questions or comments for Director O'Brien?
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. for
Thank
the
you.
update.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Future agenda items, anything specific that we would like to have on the upcoming agenda?
Colin has some stuff for us.
First time for. All right, public comments. At this time, if there's anybody in the gallery that would like to speak in and address council, you have 3 minutes to do so. You'd just like to give us your name and your address? Given 3 minutes.
My name is Scott Avery. I live at 24177 F Drive, south of Homer. However, I'm also a volunteer with Habitat for Humanity. I have spoken here before. I just wanted to hit 2 particular things. We are looking at Habitat not only builds homes like we have done on Terpenning in the last 1.5 years or so. Took a while to get that one done, but the gentleman is in there now. We also do ramps, which you probably have seen pretty consistently over the last several years. The last one that comes to mind for me, which is a large, is the church next to the Isman House. That was done a little while ago, but we are here pretty frequently. And the third thing we do is critical home repairs. That's the one I want to speak to you about tonight. We have a couple of roofs that we're looking at doing here within the city of Albion. The homeowners do pay for a portion of that. Habitat pays for a portion of that. We are looking for some help trying to further defray the costs of that. Now, I'm not talking about municipal funds. I'm just talking that if it's in your district, and I've reached out via email to whose precinct that is in. If you have ideas to send our way, we would definitely appreciate that on ways to, help the citizens in this community do that. It's a lot of work, but it's the work we do. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to email or contact me. I've already said that. And the other thing, as far as the work we do here, I would extend an invitation as part of our strategic plan, as part of working with communities that we do work in, which is all over Calhoun County, to extend to the elected officials and the leaders in that municipality to come and work with us for a day. So in a couple of weeks, we will be doing ramp again here in town for an individual. So You don't have to be there for usually it's on a Saturday. But you don't have to be there for the full 5-6 hours we're there. You can come for a half hour, you can come for an hour. It is quite something when people are able to gain mobility out of their home and not have to rely on non-emergency ambulances to take them somewhere. Some of these people are trapped in their homes for long months, stretches, years at a time. So you would definitely see what's happening in your community and how that's happening. So I invite all of you to do that. I can send an email to whomever that could be then get disseminated. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good evening.
I think at some point, Councilman French would like to get your contact
Okay.
info.
All right, fair enough. After the meeting, I guess.
Mhm.
Anyone
Can you
else
leave
like?
your contact information with the city, so if someone calls, you can give it?
Sure. I mean, yes, I know, whomever, let me know who needs to have it. Or either mine.
You got
Anybody else?
Good evening, Mayor, Acting City Manager, and City Council people. I'm Jim Hotzma, the representative of the 62nd, soon to be 44th District. And I already saw Waller when I came in. I was in a different set of clothing, and I had to change costuming down in the basement again in the restroom down there. While I was out canvassing, there's always something remarkable about canvassing, because I thought I knew all of Albion, but I got north of East Erie. And those few houses are on a peninsula over there, so I didn't ever have a chance to venture there, but down the south side, I think a couple different elections, but Albion is full of surprises. It's a remarkable place in which to live. We acted on a supplement last week, Wednesday. We in legislature, the governor had signed that supplement, negotiated between the governor's team and the appropriations chairs in the House and Senate. We appropriated $1 billion. Councilman Williams asked me, I think last month, about what was left. We have still $6 billion to appropriate by a combination of the state surplus and COVID relief dollars. So there's still appropriation that may be coming. That went to a combination of economic development. So about 875,000 will go into the Michigan Economic Development Corporation funds to spark economic development, including here in South Central Michigan. Some monies are allocated to provide an achievement scholarship, which will provide more students, more financial aid dollars in relation to attending Michigan's colleges and universities. And some money went into a fund to provide mental health services for first responders, including fire, police, and county sheriff's deputies. So I'll be happy to take any questions about that appropriation. I will say that we are not now scheduled to meet again per the Speaker of the House for attendance and for voting purposes until after the November 8 election. And I'm assuming we'll have a very busy December again in lame duck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the gallery would like to stand and address council? Do we have anybody on? City managers report? Do we have a city manager's report? Council member comments. Councilman Lawler.
Thank you so much. So I was reading in the paper where they are starting applications for Section 8 housing in Albion. So I just wanted to bring this up and to have council think about it, because there's no place here to live. I'm just like, you know, it's housing is a big issue in Albion. So if there are people out there giving out the Section 8 vouchers for Albion, Has any of us, or do any of us know who to contact and talk to about housing in Albion? Because I feel like there is help for Albion, but we don't have any houses. So I just want to put this on council's heart to think about it. Thank you so much.
Councilman French.
We've got a month until a midterm election and some local elections. This is an open invitation for candidates. Next two meetings are the last two public council meetings before the election. So it'd be lovely to have candidates come and speak with us, or at least give presentations, allow for questions and things like that. So, and for those of you who are eligible voters, I would encourage everybody to vote.
Councilman Wade.
Yes, I would like to thank State Rep Hosmer for showing up and personally delivering that information as well. Hopefully we can figure out how we can utilize some of those funds, or at least gain access to them to try to help out here in the community. Also to Scott Avery and the Habitat for Humanity and the need that they have. If any of you can share the contact information for the women who give and also the men who give, maybe they'll potentially be an asset or a resource that he can utilize, that Habitat can utilize as well. And any other funding that we know is out there that can be utilized for Habitat, let's also share that with them as well.
Any other council member comments?
I would like to say thank you to Director O'Brien for the tree list, because that at least gives us an idea of what trees have been looked at, where they fall on the rating scale, and the fact that we really don't have money to make the repairs right now. So of course we can tell our constituents when a concern arises. You know, and at one point we did have a cleanup day. So I don't know if that you have one in the fall and the spring, but maybe the citizens can help. You know, I got information on debris and leaves and things in the streets, but maybe as citizens, we can do something that is to help the street department, to help our community become cleaner. So with leaves, you know, someone took pictures and sent, you know, pictures to me of the drains that are clogged and things like that. So yeah, maybe we can do something in terms of taking some ownership rather than saying, asking the city to do everything.
Any other council member comments? So just a few from my end. This past Thursday, we had a going away event for Amy DePrez, who has served as our EDC president for several years. So we gave her a send off, but also at that same event, it was a welcome to Virgie Ammerman, who you know, I'm sure we will all be seeing a lot more of. She is so excited to be here to work for Albion. So I'm also excited to work with her to see what we can do. And the Councilwoman Lawler, I agree with you. Trying to find funds, you know, that's something that I'm definitely going to commit myself to if reelected, is finding funds to help remediate a lot of the vacant land that we have. And I think with some of the funds that may be coming up, that could be something the city of Albion could tap into, hopefully, if those are earmarked for that type of projects.
Let's do it.
Yeah, as many of you have heard, our former chief of police, Joe Thomas, passed away just this past Saturday. Yeah. Some of you who knew Joe knew that he was very passionate about community policing. He did a lot to change the culture of the police department, and his impact, you know, carries on even to this day. Some of us were able to see him recently. He came back to town, so I even though he had an illness, his death was quite unexpected.
Hmm.
So just wanted to give thoughts and prayers to his family, and for his service that he gave to the city of Albion. Oh, and former director of funeral home Kevin Tidd passed recently as well. So just keep all of them in your thoughts and your prayers. And I believe Kevin's funeral is going to be this Tuesday, this coming Tuesday here at St. John's. And then Chief had arrangements for Chief Thomas's funeral arrangements next week as well. All right, we are all here, so no need to excuse council members. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned, 7:59 PM.